Hello everybody, and today we're going to be talking about a situation where people are capitalizing off of the recent pandemic, and it's kind of obvious that they are. However, I'll get into that later. Anyways, for right now, I'm just going to be talking about how sometimes it's okay to capitalize on stuff like this. Now, before you click off the video and dislike me or whatever, the thing is, it is okay to sometimes capitalize off of it, because what if you're a game developer and you already have your game out and everything, like Jailbreaks for instance. If it released more updates because of the pandemic, then that would be capitalizing off of it. However, it's a good capitalizing off of it because now people have something to do and keep them happy during this depressive state of mind. And of course, this is a very kind of serious situation and pretty interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and begin talking about it, and make sure you guys like the video for more and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can see my every upload, because I talk about a lot of things like this all the time and you might enjoy it. So our first case of this is a group on Roblox called Studios Abide, and I do not like the name. However, these people were capitalizing off this entire situation by making an entire simulator dedicated to it. Now, simulators already leave a bad taste in my mouth and I don't like them at all at this point. However, this is even worse. I didn't even think simulators could get this bad. So basically, they released this tweet and it said, "Surprise, we at Abide Studios have been currently working on our new game, and we haven't set a release date, nor will be setting one until we are 100% sure of the game being in full release state. More updates soon, we promise. Likes and retweets appreciated." And at the end, they put it in their game logo. And it's pretty obvious from this game logo that it's talking about the recent pandemic. Because if you just look at it, it's Virus Simulator. And even if you zoom in, it has the pictures of the actual virus going around inside of the background. So it's kind of obvious that this is talking about the recent pandemic. Now, of course, this was highly controversial and people were bashing these people. And they made an entire statement because of how many people just hated this. And of course, at this point, they had canceled development and made their profile picture black. Then they said, 1 out of 2. "Following the recent disliking of our upcoming game, we have decided to end this project. We are so sorry for any trouble we have caused, and we did not know a full-wide pandemic would have broke out while in development of this project. 2 out of 2. We were originally planning on donating a percentage of our funds to, as this project has been discontinued, we will be further searching for a game genre that will suit everyone in these uncertain times. Once again, we are sorry." So now inside of the tweet, they say, "We did not know a worldwide pandemic would have broke out while in development of this project." That's the biggest lie I've ever heard in my entire life, and the most obvious one to prove wrong. So, you're saying you didn't know about the pandemic, but there's pictures of the virus inside of the background of your thumbnail. Also, you're saying your simulator took over 3 months to make, and you still haven't even put the game up on Roblox. At this point, you might as well go out and just ask for our forgiveness and just admit that you were wrong and that you made it during a pandemic to increase profits. Now, after this, they shortly closed your Twitter, and now it's all gone. However, I'm just going to show some of the community's responses to the situation. Adams said, "Absolute scumbags. You attempt to profit off a pandemic, then once you're called out for it, you pretend not to know about the current pandemic. Bull. This has probably ruined your reputation and chances of your future cash grab simulators games to do well." I agree with that statement. However, of course, there's always a chance, and the slightest chance, that they actually did do this before the pandemic, and in that chance, I will eat my words. However, for right now, I 100% think that they did it during the pandemic to get money. And it kind of shows how guilty they are, because if they really weren't guilty, why wouldn't they just keep their game up and keep on saying that it's not true, rather than delete the entire thing and make an apology? It makes absolutely no sense. Now, after all this, you might be thinking, hey, all the other simulators would have take warning and never released, or released maybe a couple months after this is all over with. But no, another game decided to capitalize off of this. And the game is called Virus Simulator. Now, of course, recently the name has changed to Navy Simulator, but you're kidding, right? You obviously did this knowing what would happen. And of course, they tweeted out a statement and said, "I want to tweet out to address some controversy surrounding the new game. Virus Simulator is in no way related to the ongoing pandemic. In fact, it was in development before the pandemic started. It's not a blank simulator, so please do not get that confused. I do respect the opinions of my fans very much, and to address their concerns, I've added many helpful hints about the pandemic during this time period. Notes like good hand washing practices, and how to social distance the game. Hope to see you playing." And of course, they handled this way better than the last guys. However, they still are lying. You can tell that, hey, they created this after they already knew about the pandemic happening. And the reason we can tell that is because if you go to their game, which is actually out now, and I might be playing into the rest of this episode. However, for right now, you can see that they created it on the 19th of March. And obviously, if they had created it before the pandemic, then they would have created it back inside of before January, because that's when everybody knew about it. So of course this is so dumb, and it's obvious that they knew about it and was just creating this for a cash grab and attention. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and spend the next part of this video just going over the game and seeing how much it relates to the new pandemic. And of course I'm gonna just be judging the game and probably calling it trash because I do not like simulators. However, let's go ahead and get into this game. Now, of course, some people are actually like making videos on this unironically and just like saying play the game. I would not suggest playing this game at all. I'm not endorsing this game. I'm actually telling you not to play this game because it is a cash grab, and I'm going to be showing you it right now so you don't have to play it. So I actually recorded this before, but it didn't record, so I'm just going to be explaining how you play this. So basically you go up to people and cough on them, and I'm going to go ahead and say this is not no sneeze, bro. This is a cough, and you can obviously tell it's a cough. That's literally a cough. Like, if it was a sneeze... Hold on, what? What even is this? Okay, apparently there's news. Oh yeah, I made my name Dino for my disease. Okay, that's kind of cool, I guess. But in general, this game is probably just a cash grab. I've saw so many pop-ups so far on my other playthrough that I had to delete because there's no audio. But yeah, you can just see that, hey, it's obviously trying to get your money. And people are pressing away from this in real life. So this game is just like really insensitive in my opinion, and it's not very good. Now, of course, I do think with the team you could have created this inside of 3 months and published this to get money, obviously. Because we all know everybody knew about it back in January. And it's obviously some people are actually trying to play this game and not even realizing that, hey, this is just making fun of the actual pandemic. And it's the same thing if like a hurricane broke out inside of Florida or something like it has a while ago, like 10 years ago it broke out. And imagine them making just like after a hurricane broke out, a hurricane simulator, and inside of Florida you try to break as many houses as possible. You could see how that would be extremely insensitive and horrible, just like this is. Actually just mocking people that lost their lives. Anyways, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and end this off. I do not like this game. You basically just cough on people. It's the dumbest thing ever, and it's just one of those low cash grab simulators. Anyways, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys like the video to make sure nobody else plays this game, because this game is horrible and it's just a cash grab trying to get your money from the pandemic. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like the video, subscribe, turn notifications down below, join my Discord, and you can go ahead and debate on me about this and whatever you want to. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye.
Got my eyes on a computer screen, trying to work my digits in. I fidget with my lettering, but never with my sentences. I pause and check the clock, and it appears it's 6 a.m. again. Another night wasted or another day finished, and my mind is steady running in place. I don't want to fall asleep, cause I got so much to say, but I don't want to stay awake and keep exhaustion at bay.